Welcome back. Before starting game 2, I'll go ahead and outline my sideboard plan. After a bunch of playtesting, I eventually came up with siding out all my small guys. Um, I love Squadron Hawk. I love Stoneforge Mystic, but in this matchup, they end up just dying to Searing Blaze, and it's just bad for me. I really can't afford it. It just ends up not working very well. There's too many ways for them to get removed. Um, Instead, I bring in Duress, two Bane Slayers, the Flash Freezes, and Condemn. Um, then I take out, end up taking the Life Staff. I no longer have creatures that matter, that will die, so it's no longer good enough. And then I take out one Jace. The game plan is to become a control deck, basically. Hopefully, Condemn or Doomblade early creatures, Inquisition and Duress, relevant spells, and then cast the Crusader and her Baneslayer and Gideon and ride them to victory. Um, that's what I've been doing lately, and it's been working pretty well with this configuration of the deck just because of the power of the Crusader. Let's go to the match. I'm on the draw again. Alright, pretty acceptable hand. Inquisition, Flash Freeze, Baneslayer. The only thing I could ask for was maybe a Condemn or a Doomblade, but otherwise this is a fine hand as long as he doesn't lead with a Goblin Guide. But he does lead with a Goblin Guide. At least I draw a card. He's revealing Darkslick Shores, so I go ahead and play the Shores. I draw a Glacial Fortress, and so I'm a little bit mana flooded. And Inquisition, and I see Stagger Shock, Ember Hauler, Burst Lightning, Burst Lightning. Now these creatures, I just he's a little tight on mana, so I want to take out the Ember Hauler. Um, just I don't want creatures on the board. If he were to cast, I mean, it seems like the most threatening card that can do the most damage there. And I reveal another Flash Freeze, so I'm just trying to hopefully draw into something to get rid of that guide and just play the control deck. Just counter anything he casts. And now I reveal an Inquisition. Again, it's not great, but at least it's something. And now he surprises me when he casts Mortar Pod, which I can't counter, and it was actually kind of annoying. It's also a way to get rid of my Phyrexian Crusaders, if he were to have two of them. But, we'll worry about that later. Again, he drew a Searing Blaze, and currently the only real targets for it are my Manlands and Baneslayer Angel, so I'm not too worried about that. So I take the Stagger Shock, which is 4 damage that I'm potentially preventing. Hits me again, and this revealing Preordain, so hopefully I can Preordain into something good like removal, but I went into 2 lands, and even though I would draw one with the Goblin God, I just snip the bottom and hope for the best, but still draw another land. I'll go ahead and play the Tar Pit, just because there's no value in more keeping the mana up. And Teetering Peaks lets the Germ attack me, and another Preordain. So again, I'm already at 8 life, and things aren't looking very good. Here, I just want to Preordain and get removal. And 2 lands, so send those both to the bottom, and I draw Day of Judgment. I play my land, and I just don't want to die to the burn in his hand. I figure I can take 2 damage, go to 6, and counter anything he tries to play if he were to try to play a burn spell. And if next turn after a day, I will have 2 mana up to counter 1 spell. I thought that had more value than the 2 life that I would take from the Goblin Guide. I was potentially saving more damage than the 2 damage I was taking here. Colonnade is revealed, so I draw another card and go down to 6 life. And I know he has 2 Burst Lightning's in hand, so I'm almost dead already. Plays the Spike Shot, which is great. I now can get maximum value out of my Day of Judgment. And I draw a second day, which is not great, but gotta do what you gotta do. So here I Day of Judgment, and he hits me with Morpod, and he has 4 cards in hand, and 2 mana this turn, 3 mana next turn. Alright, he untaps, so far so good. And now he plays a Goblin Guide, and snap counter there. Is no way I can let that resolve. He doesn't send any more burn in my face, so I'm actually optimistic now. And so I'm just going to play Baneslayer with mana up. You know, my head is you know, maybe all he has is 2 Burst Lightnings and Searing Blaze, or 2 Burst Lightnings and maybe Mark Immunity, and I can possibly survive that. So here's come Burst Lightning number 1, and now here comes Burst Lightning number 2. And you know, I have an option to counter it, but I'm already at 3 life, so any other spell he has will kill me. So there's no value, you know, there's no value in countering this one if he's got another one. And now he untaps, and you know, as long as he doesn't have a burn spell, and if I get to swing with a Baneslayer, I'll be alright. But he has Searing Blaze, which half expected at this point in the game, this many cards deep in the game. So I flash freeze it, and now he has to have another spell, and he does. So, but it was a pretty close game. You know, I didn't draw any removal until very late for that Goblin Guide. If I'd just been able to kill it a little earlier, I might have gotten there. But now I've got to go back and see what happens in Game 3. Thanks for watching.